Hello, everyone, and as always, welcome back to Strategy Gaming Dojo, where we find, learn, and play one more turn of the great strategy games. And today we're going to get back into Decisive Campaigns, Ardennes Offensive. This is our Let's Play against the Allied AI, and we are in round 4 here, kind of wrapping up the first day of action. And I thought this time we're actually going to move bottom to top because I've been talking about this defensive line down the Sour River, and I want to do that from bottom to top, and then we're almost all the way through the map from top to bottom, but I want to go bottom to top, and then we'll make sure that we don't have anything left to move. And after I do that, then we're going to turn the turn. But let's start right here in the bottom. We'll put on move, stack and mini, and hex. That's how I like to do it with the hex stats up. Okay, down here, this is the 53rd. And so you can see here, 53rd Corps. They are all static. They're just kind of hanging out here waiting to see if any kind of American reaction. They will eventually, if the Americans get too close, they would activate. I'm not sure if they actually just activate even if the Americans aren't too close. I should go. I should go look. But right now they're in a defensive situation. I like it, or in a defensive position. I should really say. I like that. It's fine. This pioneer group goes back to the 212th, and you can see the 212th here. And it's a matter of how far do we want to push some of this stuff, because we do want this to be defensive. So these guys are all fine. Bridge crossings are blown there, there, and there. So every bridge here is blown here to the east until we get to Eddingen. And do we want to move this guy actually back up into Eddingen? Probably do, or we could move this as part of 7th Army. I do believe the 53rd is part of 7th Army. It is. So why don't we actually just move this engineer around, and we'll eventually have him blow that bridge, and then we're going to want this engineer up here eventually to blow this bridge. This one's already blown this way anyway. Now, we don't want these guys to get trapped up here, so we're not going to blow them just yet, but we want to have them in position. We could also use this as a scout group, and maybe that's what we do. Get it out here on the road, just see what the Americans have going on. You can see they also have a supply base here, and if we click on that, it's a minor supply base, but I would like to go grab that with the 212th before we just call off this attack and kind of fall back. So why don't we take this engineer group and move it? We could move him this way, or we could move him this way. I'd like him to maybe be the scout kind of down this direction. So we'll just move him down here, and then I think we'll take him up and over the hilltop here. All right, then we've got the 316th Regiment. They can move out this way if we want them to. We could also potentially do an attack. We go 1 to 2 there, 1 to 1, 1 to 1. Doesn't look good to do that at the nighttime. We do have this artillery. I don't see any reason to have this artillery moving out here this far. You can see we've got a lot of really nice places to put artillery up here that kind of overlook the river. So as the Americans advance, we can, do some business with them. I'm actually going to take this artillery from the 316th, because the 316th is probably going to be our easternmost group, and I'm just going to put them back here in this small town. No reason to have the artillery running out here with their hair on fire. The 320th is a divisional artillery, so I think, yeah, it goes straight back to the 212th. This maybe we put, I don't know, over here somewhere. I'm going to get this artillery out of here. There's no reason to have the artillery across the bridge. And now we know this is divisional artillery. Let's scoot that back as well. Um, Eventually, again, we're gonna drop back here behind the river and build our defensive line up this way. The 423rd Artillery looks good right there. We could actually drop some arty on his head. I think I'm going to save that a little bit. I feel like maybe I've been overly aggressive slightly here with the artillery. Okay, let's keep moving the 212th. The Fusiliers out here. We don't know what's in this town, but yep, we did get ambushed and we lose 40 men there. Not good. I got to stop doing stuff like that. Not that it's a huge deal, but that's just a waste. The 423rd, his guys out here. Let's continue these guys moving around this way. We've got some Fallschirmjägers here, but I'm gonna have these guys go here, 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 kind of overlook this valley when the morning sunrise comes up. We've got these Fallschirmjägers that can go here, 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 and now we see that towards Beaufort. Um, what else do we have down here? We have anti-tank if we would need that. Why don't we just set that up kind of in a defensive spot with this infantry and then the Stug. Can this guy move on? He can. Let's just put the oh, can he not move? He can go there, but he can't go there. He can't go through the forest. Imagine that. Let's put him there. They don't have a height advantage here. It's 0 and his is 1. So he's actually got a height advantage on us. This is at a 2. So, he's looking down into this valley. That's fine. And then what do we have back here? We have more artillery that goes back to a core. You can see 80th Corps up here. Let's get him up here with his guys. Again, we're going to want to set a lot of this up here. Let's keep him on the road, put him in that fort. That's fine. And we'll take this anti-tank and we'll bring it up here by 80th. The 212th goes back to 80th. Okay, so we could just put this anti-tank. It could go out here with this, or it could just sit with the headquarters. I think that's what I'll have it do now. Okay, so we're up into this Fallschirmjäger, and the Fallschirmjäger is part of the 276th. No, that's not. This is actually a division. Okay, my bad. Um, the 276th also goes back to 80th Corps. So the 212th is in 80th Corps, the 270th. Okay, it's all becoming clear to me now. But again, this is something we're going to want to set back here by the river. We're going to want to blow the bridge. Eventually, we've got anti-tank and artillery here. Probably move the artillery back here with the Nebelwerfer. That's fine. They're in light forest. Eh, we may eventually want to have them in town. Let's put this is also light forest. Is this a town? What is this? Heavy forest, plains, Bellendorf. All right, well, let's put the headquarters in Bellendorf. We could actually set it back a little bit, but let's put it there now. What's his stack now is 55. We could also put the engineers in there, and we'll move the artillery all back I want them in a fort level, though. Let's move him there. Oh, actually, no. Let's not do that. Let's move that there. The 276, so that's divisional. Then you have the Nebelwerfer that's part of the 80th. Then you have the 987th. They're probably going to move around this way a little bit. I could have him on these bluffs because they're probably going to come for Bellendorf. I think I'll just leave that now. Also with the Nebelwerfers. And then back here we have Nebelwerfers that can back up, get a little more visibility down into that. And we have the divisional headquarters here. We see the Americans, and let's just scoot this part of the 987th up there. And this other part, let's go here and there. We don't really know what's there, and we don't know if we can get into Beaufort. We could do, he's got 6 command points. Let's do a recon because I'm actually just kind of curious how much we get here at night. Let's play a recon there. Yeah, we still don't see anything, but would we? That's the question. 15 and 34, we just don't know, and I'm not going to take that risk. The 986th is out here on the road. Let's take the first part of this down this valley to Metternach, and just short of Metternach, and then the other part of it, got to look around here on the Sour River. We don't want this armor coming this way. We could also then get one of the anti-tank units over here. We've got more artillery, more Nebelwerfers there. I like the artillery up here. This is fine. It's regimental artillery. We could also have moved him to Eppeldorf, but I think I'll do that with this part of the 988th. Let's get him going this way to there. So now we're kind of blocking off this road. Now, eventually, like I said, we're probably going to pull back here, but Edelbrook, for instance, we want to go take, and we may need to take it from this direction before the Americans can get out here. Up into the 352nd Division, this is the 916th Regiment. We're not going to attack across the river, obviously. I do want this engineer group there. That's fine. We've got artillery back here and Nebelwerfers. We could move those closer down here by the river. Um, don't see any fort levels. These guys could also start to expand out here a little bit. There is the 352nd. Let's take the Fusiliers. We'll go there. Okay, we get ambushed and we lose 10 men. That's all right. So we know that there's now a group there. The 916th, the 914th. All right, let's take him down here by the main road. We'll put him in that fort, and they're going to try to cross over to Edelbrook and get into this supply source. This other part of the 914th, I think I could either leave it right up here, but this doesn't look like something he's going to try to cross over and take. I think I'll put him just on the other side of town here and hopefully trap him a little bit. Now here comes the 915th, which I think I'll put here and here. And we can put Panzerjagers in, let's say here, because that is a strong armored group. We can also put anti-tank in, and anti-tank that goes straight back to the 85th Corps. What is our stack there now? 74. Okay, that should be really strong against tanks. We got two anti-tank groups, Panzerjagers as well. That should be quite strong. We can move the Nebelwerfers. Where is he now? In the heavy forest. This is light forest. It's fine. Let's get them up and overlooking the river. We have the 406 that goes back to the core here. Strong core already. Eventually, we may want it up here, maybe right here. We got to protect it from Allied air power, obviously. I think for now, I'm going to leave both of these here. We've got the artillery for the 916th, which is sitting here. I think we can move that up. So we've got the 915th and the 916th artillery. He can move. Let's put him there, and let's put the 916th where? I may leave him there. I don't want to expose him too much, certainly. We've also got Big Artie back here. He's got all these guys in his sights. Let's get him moving up the road and get him scooted up. You can see 7th Army's back here along with Sikarung and an anti-air. We've got Panzerjagers of the 276 back here. We do have in Wasfeld a penal battalion. We're going to leave them there. This is all fine. 7th Army's fine. Uh, this artillery, we just talked about that. All right, this is going to be an interesting battle down here as we start to set up our defense down the Sour River. And we'll get these guys, uh, kind of spread out a little bit. But for now, I'm trying to go get their supply sources. This artillery really could come a ways. 914th. No reason to have him all the way back here. Let's put him right there for now. Um, then we'll move the core headquarters here. Does that make sense? So that's 75th. What is the Fallschirmjäger under? Where's your command, gentlemen? There it is. It's all the way out here. He is part of the 85th Corps. Okay, so that's the 75th Corps I was just looking at right there. Um, that's the 80th. Okay, so those guys are in the 80th. These guys are in the... Let's look at this one more time. 85th. Okay, so 75th. Just making sure I've got this. 80th, 85th. Wow. Okay, and these guys are in the 85th as well. So we've moved down towards Edelbrook, which is kind of, point one. We may even try to step across the river, get rid of the supply source if we can. We've got anti-tank there. He's got a lot of tanks right in this area. We could try to trap him in here potentially, get into that town. Nebelwerfers, we moved those. We've moved almost all of this Fallschirmjäger, so I think that's good. We do have this anti-aircraft that needs to move. Let's move him up here. You're part of the 85th. You're part of the 75th. Now, where did the 85th get off to again? Gotta find it. Yeah, 75th, 7th Army. The 75th is part of 7th Army, but he's part of the 85th. Not there. He must be right up in this area somewhere because he goes back to the 26th Volksgrenadier Division. That headquarters is back this way. 5th Fallschirmjäger. Is the 85th all the way back somewhere? I'm sure we've seen it. Maybe all the way up here. I don't know. We're going to find out. There is 2nd Panzer. That's going to 47th Panzer Corps. 26th Volksgrenadier Division. So that divisional headquarters has to be under here somewhere. There it is. And he's going back to 47th Panzer Corps as well. So this is the only thing under 85th. Good to know. All right, let's take this anti-air and we'll put it right here for now. Okay? And I think that is all we need to move. We've got the defensiveness here. We're moving out a little bit. We've really run into quite a bit of American forces in this area. Got ambushed a couple of times, but we want to get out here and get down the Sour River. This is going to be our defensive line. It kind of pops up here and then it starts heading back down. Um, just looking at this, making sure this is right. Yeah. And then we've got great overlooks here for our artillery, whether it be here or here, all up and down, and then into the Shur River. Now, we had talked about the Wark. And maybe, building off of that as well. So the Sour comes up here. We could, do a defensive line here, but I don't think that makes much sense. I think we run it right along the Sour. The Sour then turns into the Bleeze, and then run it right down the Bleeze into the Shur River. I mean, I know that gets us awfully far north. Um, he does have overlook there. So do we do it a little further south potentially? I don't know that there's a good place to do it a little bit south. The Shur comes down this way towards Martelange. Eckdorf. Yeah, I think we're just going to move out here right along the Shur River and try to take as much of that as we can. And then I think, we've already got the defensiveness here. I think the 212th spreads out, to let's say here. And then I think we take the 276th, through here. And then we've got the 352nd that can come out here. And then the Fallschirmjäger, man, we would have them a long ways out here. I'm sure we'll probably actually want to leave the Fallschirmjäger back here a little bit. This is going to be dangerous work out here, certainly. But we need to get a lot of artillery out there, get it set up before the American counterattack. We've got our motorized just busting through here. You can see the Fallschirmjäger a long ways out here already. Oh, there were a couple of places on the map I wanted to do a few things. I noticed a few things that hadn't moved or at least had a decent attack potential. Let's scoot back a little bit. Was it here? I was staring at these earlier. 2, 5, no. Oh, it was right here. It was right here. I wanted to go ahead and potentially launch an attack here and get this out of the way. Let's do attack. Yeah, we can't do it there. Okay. Um, we've got armor there, anti-tank. That all looks fine. Just making sure. Just making sure. Oh, it was right here. This is where I want to attack. And we're going to move this Fallschirmjäger up. We could also potentially move the Stug up. And then in this hex, if we look at an attack, let's take all of our Fallschirmjäger. That goes to 7 to 1, 10 to 1. Stug takes it to 16 to 1. I think we're just going to leave the Stug out and attack right there. All right, we lose 10 Yoggers, but we take out two bazookas, some trucks, an M8 Scott. I think that was well worth it. So we put a little bit of hurt on that. Um, Excellent. Okay, we've got the 1250th. Okay, I think that's all good. I think we're going to turn our turn. Was there some other? I thought I remember there was some other artillery I had spotted that maybe I didn't move yet. I think it was kind of in this area. Sixth Panzer, not there. Okay, I think we're good. I'm going to back up, um, and let's turn the turn. Awesome. Okay, we're through our first day. I think we did pretty well in the first day. I'm pretty pleased with it all. We'll see. We'll see. All right, as usual, I will pause this, and then I think we'll just do what we did last time, which is go through the big events. I kind of liked that. All right, a lot for this game to contemplate right now. Through the supply system. Now, I put the AI on slow. That might not be your flavor. For me, I'm playing a turn-based war game. I don't care how long the AI takes. I'll go, make a cup of coffee. I'll go hang out with the wife. I'll see what the puppy's up to. It's fine to me if the AI takes half a day if it does a good job. That's all I care about. Um, we'll see. I'll report back about the AI certainly. We'll figure out if we think it did a good job. All right, almost there. Okay. It's going through all of its different programs there. Reserve front, so and so and so, and there are going to be a lot of moves this time around. Obviously, 16 of 30, but there should be 400 or 500 moves. Then things are going to get really interesting here, right? Because we'll be into day two. Of course, day one was going to be easy for us for the most part. We were going to move out. We're going to destroy a lot of stuff with our artillery. Get into day two, and we start to get into the meat and potatoes of this thing. Just letting it go through. I really love this game so far. If you can't tell, I really enjoy playing it. When I haven't played it for a day or so, I'm like, I want to go make another episode because I just enjoy playing the game. I think it's a great system. I hope he keeps to expanding on this system. If I have heard any complaint, it is about the AI, saying it's just not difficult enough. Well, we're going to find out for ourselves. Some of you guys are masters, though, so maybe uh, you're just so good. It doesn't matter how good the AI is. I don't know. We're going to find out. Okay, through 71 now. And we could just back this up and start going through the big events. Now you could see the moves there. Okay, so let's go big. An attack. Okay, and he's attacking right in here. This is to the southern end of the map, I believe. just looking back here, I'm trying to orient myself to where this may be. I think these are the Fallschirmjägers. They are. Okay, so these are the Fallschirmjägers that we had moved out. That is where I had some of that anti-tank move in and whatnot. Um, we were defending there, obviously, defender axis. We had 11 Panzerschrecks, 440 Jagers, so it is the Fallschirmjägers, 180 Fallschirmjägers, 9 81 millimeters. We lose nothing. Attacking the Allies, they lost a Greyhound and a Scott, so that's pretty good for us. Let's go to the next big one and attack. 39. This is step 39. You can see in red where the attack is. It happens again down here in the southern part of the map. He attacks into us. We lose nothing again. He loses a truck. Oh, I'll take that. Okay. Big. An attack. Okay, this is right up here, just south. This is where we have him hemmed in. I had looked at this, so first SS is right here. I had looked at this as a potential attack for us, and I thought, nah, not at night, right? He takes a terrible losses here because we have him completely surrounded. 220, 60. He loses 280 infantry there. 11 trucks, 7 bazookas, 2 mortars. That's huge for us. Defender stood firm here. Attacker allies. We did get hurt a little bit here. He's trying to bust out here. This is right where that cavalry is, where we were looking, or we did attack actually into that cavalry. He took 10 veteran losses, 2 bazookas. We took 50 Volksgrenadiers, 80 total Volksgrenadiers, and 2 81 millimeter mortars. So we stood firm, but we got hurt there a little bit. Then he tried to follow that up, and he lost 30 veterans, 2 M3s, 2 M8s, 1 M3. We again stand firm here as he's trying to bust out of this pocket that we have created. We do lose 20 Volksgrenadiers there. We got another attack here. This is out here, you can see, where we've gotten around behind him a little bit. No losses on either side there, just kind of a probing mission. Then he does an artillery. That is into this. Oh, this is Vems, I think. And he is now trying to get us dislodged from there. That was big that we just snuck around there and took it. Attacker was victorious at Vems, and now he has knocked us out of there. 20 grief. So that was just a grief team, 2 captured jeeps. Attacker was victorious here again against the grief, and he has destroyed the Grief Regiment. Artillery. Okay, right here against this group. This is in the southern part of the map where we have crossed over the Sour River, just trying to be a little offensive to come out here, get his supply sources so he doesn't have those. He's going to have to rebuild those if he comes back through. Okay, artillery again on that same group, no losses, but maybe disrupted us a little bit. We've got a little artillery up here. This is a little further north, obviously. Um, we stood firm at Mutzenich, and that's where we were. Mutzenich. He takes 10 veteran losses. We take 3 trucks. We stand there with some Volksgrenadiers and hold that easily. Turn 70 or step 77. He does some artillery fire here and again, and then he attacks. So he's doing artillery and then the attack, which is smart. 40 greens, 40 veterans. We take no losses, though, in a very strong defensive position. We see artillery fire rain down on our heads again. Where is that? I'm not seeing the red pop up here. I don't see it, but we didn't take any losses, so I'm okay with it. Artillery again. Oh, it's all the way to the north here. So artillery fire, literally the top notch up here to the north. We didn't take any loss there, and then he attacks here. Interestingly, across the river. Well, we'll take that every time. He loses 20 engineers, 1 bazooka. We lose nothing. Then we stood firm behind him. So we tried to attack and get out this way. We're behind him. He tries to go this way. We did actually take 60 Volksgrenadier losses there. He took 1 M75 jumbo loss. Okay, we've got another attack. So he's really up here in the north trying to be a little more aggressive. We take no losses there, and he kind of loses a little bit of everything, including 9 Greyhounds, 7 half tracks, 5 Stewarts. You can see the power of the higher terrain and also getting around and surrounding things. We've got artillery fire coming in here. You can see there, and then he attacks. We stood firm. He took the majority of losses there. Unknown unit moves, okay, at the end of the history. So that's it. So at the night phase, he was just going to play, any where he's trying to break out of envelopments, but only 124 steps this time. During the evening phase, he had done, or the afternoon, what they call the afternoon phase, he had done nearly 500 turns. So let's just fast forward through this. And there we go. And it is going to be the morning, 600 hours of day number 2. It's December 17th, 1944. And I would say that day 1 went quite well for us, I think, or at least I'm satisfied. I don't know if you are. I have no idea. Maybe I should put up a poll. Are you satisfied? Please start the turn, Axis. Okay. And now I'm really interested about our supply situation, our fuel situation. We'll have to check all that out. Round 5 conditions. It's morning, mist just below 0. You can see that's going to be the case in the day, the afternoon, and then at night there will be a little light precipitation. Okay, so the mist, will hurt from an attacking standpoint, but potentially discourage any of his armor. We have six, or I'm sorry, air. Any of his aircraft. Axis has 65 victory points on the map. Allied casualties give the Axis a 10 extra VP. I think that's pretty good. Thus, the total, we're at 75 VP. We need 150. We're halfway to a major victory as we go. So let's just take a peek at the map here. We'll go from north to south. We do have some traffic delays out here on the I-10. No, it's that's not the I-10. Um, Okay, we've got some of his artillery there. This all looks fine. He is now moved up to try to stop us here on our push to Rotkin. You can see all of the American forces here. That's why I'm trying to push to Rotkin here and maybe get a huge envelopment of American forces there. He's got a little less strength here. You did see he attacked back and he attacked, well, actually, it was here. This is where he attacked up here. We've got all of this surrounded. We can move out here and hopefully get on the main road this time. Get across the river on these 2 bridges right here. Doesn't look like he blew those. And so we're going to try to get across and get out here to help support 1st SS. And you can see now he's moved out here. He knocked us out of VEMS, that grief group. We may put another grief group in there just to take it back. Okay, you can see zone of control. That's what that is. I'd like to get out to Malmedy this time if we can. 2nd SS, okay. The 12th that's got to get moving. He's been a little slow here. We got to get him set up here to protect the push on 1st SS, right? If we turn on supply as well, you can see we're getting supply out here, so that's good. Is there anybody back here not getting supply? These guys right here, but hopefully we can take care of that this time. We got to push out with the rest of this here and there. Everybody here is in supply. Okay, that's all in good supply. All of that's in good supply. All of this is in good supply. I'll just keep the supply on as we go down here. We're out and around him as the 560th. We should have this trapped a little bit. He launched several attacks right in this area, so we're going to have to get the, what is this, the 62nd, I think, moved up a little bit more. They're a little further back. 150th Panzer out here, which is, I think, what this is. It's part of 5th Panzer Army. It just looks like clear skies. We just go and go and go. I don't see anything out here. Not yet, but we will certainly. 2nd Panzer, same idea. I mean, it just looks like there's nothing out here from an American perspective, but we shall see. We'll get down to Traverses and see if anything's there. Then we get into the Lair Division, and 26th Division is the infantry. The Lair is the motorized. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Just keep moving. Fallschirmjäger. They're going to be a defensive force, and this is where we're going to set up on the Sauer River into Edelbrook, Edelweiss, Merzig. we'll come up here. It'll have to, go around here. I hate to give them the high ground there. I'm tempted to maybe move it down here, right? That would give us Redage. That brings us to the main town here, but the river runs out like right here. That's why I wanted it to be here. But as you can see, if we're down here in the valley, he's got a nice Overwatch location there. I don't love that. We'll see. We'll see. At least we may kind of take it as a fallback. We'll leave some units back here along the Sour, and we'll try to push out here as far as he'll let us anyway. Okay, let's go back up to the top then. Let's look at the stats and just see where we stand. You can see here total troops on the map. We're at 121. The Americans 105, or the Allies, I should say. Sure doesn't seem like they have 105,000, but they've got a lot of troops back here right in reserves. Casualties inflicted, casualties sustained. Let's do it that way. We've taken 2488. The Americans 8677. Holy cow, that's good. That's what you want to see. Better than 3 to 1, like almost 3.5 to 1. But of course, we caught them by surprise. So let's not get too carried away. I don't want you getting carried away out there. Uh, okay, let's jump back into it. We're going to get started here on round 5, and we'll probably want to go see any general cards. Let's take the supply off. We're stack mini, move. That's fine. Hex, perfect. Okay, so 600 hours it is. What do we have back here? We have a Sikarung. That'll stay there. We have a Sikarung there, and we have a Sikarung there. Perfect. Okay, we moved a lot of our artillery up last time, and if we look here, he's only got artillery there. We may do some counter battery fire to start, but let's look at our big general cards, and we're now up to 88 political points. Well, that we're getting close to 25th Panzer Grenadier Division. That's nice. Uh, 10th SS Funsberg. Okay. 11th Panzer Division. That sounds nice. I'd like another Panzer Division. I shouldn't say it like that. Nice. It sounds like Gru from the Minions. Feldersatz, Grief Team. Okay, so we'll probably use that. Air Support, Air Recon is canceled due to the weather conditions. So because of mist, that is good to know. The American Air Power will probably be held back as well. So Grief Team's probably the only thing we're going to play this time. Okay, we already know the situation up here into the north. We have got the Corps, which is the 74th and 89th Division. It's all part of the same thing. We've got the Corps, actually the Corps had artillery here. And let's see, what do we have here? Fields. Um, well, do we just try to blow this out and forget about this? Maybe. We're going to be able to run over this, I think, as it stands. Why don't we take the 1056th? We'll go into the soft target. Let's do that first. All right, we'll go into that soft target, see kind of what he's got, what we can start to take out, because the regimental artillery, we want to go into soft targets, certainly. So there's that. And then we have the 1063rd up here. Let's hit that. Again, he's a little further away, so we don't do quite the same amount of damage. We do take out 10 veterans there. So a little softening up these two artillery groups. And then we go back here. The 189th goes straight to the division. The 992nd does as well. Both of these, I'm going to go after this artillery. So the 992nd, let's do this one first. That's the core artillery. Should be quite strong. What do we take out? One howitzer, one truck, 10 rear area troops, 2 U.S. trucks. You can see what he's got here. It's not a whole lot. I mean, he's got a lot of bazookas, but we've got a lot of infantry on the ground. So let's take the other guy and continue to soften up this infantry here, because that's the next thing we got to move. And let's keep taking that readiness down. This time we take out some trucks, some GI Greens, one anti-tank gun. Okay, so that's the artillery for this. Again, just making sure. And now let's look at what this attack would look like. That goes 2 to 1, 5 to 1 as we get the concentric bonus. 1063, 189. What is this? 189. Let's do the two 1063s instead. All right, so 1063, that's only 3 to 1. I was hoping it was a little better because I want this guy to move down the road, but maybe we are going to have to just take this out. We're not as aggressive up here in the north, or I don't plan to be, and we really put a hurting on him there, obviously, and scoot that back. Now then, he can go out 1 hex. That looks good. He can't go 2. Um, he's going to chase down the road here, or do we take both of these guys up this way? How far can you go? You can go there, but I think I'll bring you here. Let's attack again. 3 to 1, 16 to 1. And I think we should, yeah, we completely destroyed that our American artillery. And now we've got some things we can play around with here, right? Let's scoot you up around this infantry. This is all fine. That's all moved. We move back here. We have more core artillery. We've got a lot of artillery to take advantage of here. And if we can get around him to the north, let's just keep beating him up here. This time we take out 30 green troops, 2 trucks. We take his readiness down to 78. That was, again, with the core artillery. Nice. We've got these nice overwatches here. Here is another bit of that core artillery. We could try to, hit this. We could help out down here potentially where he's a little stronger, but I think I'm just going to keep busting away at that unit. Do we do much damage here? Yeah, we take out 10 GI greens, so that wasn't the best artillery barrage. But now that we've hit that several times, let's see what an attack here looks like. We've got 2 bits of the 1056. There's their artillery back here. 1055. Where is their regimental artillery? 1055, 1055. Oh, that is it. Duh. Okay. Let's see what this looks like. 1 to 1, 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 5 to 1. Let's go for it. Let's attack there. We had all kinds of concentric bonuses there. We lose 30 infantry, but we really rip that unit up. 80. He loses 80 infantry, 9 trucks, 3 bazookas, 2 AT guns, and we scoot him out and back. And because of that, I'm going to take this bit of the 1056 and move it right there as we start to try to move around him to the north. That looks good. Let's keep our push on Rotkin going. I like that. Down here we have a bit of the 1055th. I think we got to go right on this road, right? With the 1055th, let's hit that with Regimental Artie and start beating up on him. I kind of wish I would have taken this other Artie and gone into here or into here. Now the artillery, we maybe can just take that with the infantry. We shall see. There's the Corps headquarters. Okay, we're sitting here in Ruhrberg. There's the 89th. Not everybody's in command, but they were when they attacked. So that's all I was that worried about. Um, okay. Now what? Well, where is he? In the fields? He's infantry. Do I keep taking these guys even though he's technically part of this division and keep beating up? I feel like if we can break through right here, and this looks weak, we put them in all kinds of trouble. So let's hit that again. Okay, that's just regimental arty, but he takes out number of mortars and bazookas. That looks good to me. So that has fired. Divisional headquarters, that's fired. The Corps will probably stay here, but we can move the division up maybe. That's just the fields. Let's look and see what an attack into this hex looks like. 9, 1055th. Okay, we go to 3 to 1. All stays 3 to 1. Is that enough? I think we need to hit that with a little more artillery. Do I have artillery back here? There's the 980th, the 981st. We could also just move forward here and have this participate in the battle. That could work. He's got a height advantage. I'm not talking basketball here. We could also take this part of the 272nd, but man, I mean, the Americans are really strong right here. We probably got to save some artillery for them, right? Um, let's just move him forward. Oh, Okay, we took some intercept fire on that move. Smart by the AI. 10 and 1. That also takes away our movement points, or takes away some of them. Action points, I should call them. Now we've got him surrounded several ways. Let's go 5 to 1 and see what kind of damage we can do to him here. We do lose 30 infantry and a couple mortars and a Panzerschreck. He loses more than that, 60, 30, 90 troops. He does not get shoved back, though. Interesting. Okay, well, I would have almost bet my bottom dollar he would have gotten shoved back there. We've still got anti-tank here. Okay, we could also move these engineers here and try to attack the artillery. What does this look like? It would be a ranged attack. Um, can we attack? I don't think there's anything to attack that in a melee combat. Now, if I move this up here, there would be. Wow, I'm surprised that that didn't get hurt a little more. He's a little stronger than we had hoped. This unit, got to get some artillery into that, and I think this is where we start, right? This is field snow, so into that and just keep banging away with that artillery. Um, wow, look at that. We put some real hurt on him there. He went 93 to 65. He lost 80 troops just with just a bombardment from the 272nd Artillery Regiment. Good job, gentlemen. Let's scoot back. So we fired that artillery, got the Sickarung. This is where we have supply depot. Good to know. I've moved a lot of this artillery up. Now this is going back to the core, right? And if we look over here, so this division and this division is all part of the 67th Corps. Let's bomb around. Let's keep hitting there. I think it's important to really try to soften that up. Now, he's got armor right behind that, you see. When we look here, there's his armor. Something to keep in mind. Now we have another artillery. This is the Volks artillery. We could hit here into the cavalry. I don't want him to be able to sneak through here, right? We've got anti-aircraft. Okay, who cares about that? Nope. I'm going to just keep doing the concentrated artillery fire and just try to wear this down as much as we can so we're not getting any kind of crazy counterattacks. So that moved forward. What kind of attack could we get there? 2 to 1. Let's go back. What is this? The 980th? Both of those are 980th. So 981st and the 980th. Now, that's field snow. We're in Kesternick. This is Cimmerath. So we're in the towns, right? He's probably not going to bring the armor into the town. 980th and 981st. Okay. Attack. Attack. I thought I was on that hex. Attack. 980th, 980th, 981st. 7 to 1. We'll almost always take that attacking out of town. We do lose 50 Volksgrenadiers, 181 millimeter, one Panzerschreck, but the Americans just take an absolute beating. 160, 14 trucks. I mean, he just keeps losing stuff there. Okay, we'll take that, and we did knock him back onto this armor. Not sure how aggressive we want to be here. He's got strong armor, and it's starting to look like we could get a breakout to the north here. And if we can do that, kind of what happens here, this really needs to be a holding force, right? Anti-tank there. We've got Panzerjägers and anti-tank here, including some infantry. This now frees up a little bit. And why is that important? Okay, I think we want to keep our divisional headquarters there. Oh, we've got this artillery. Now, he does not have direct line of sight on anything, but I think we can throw it into that with indirect line of sight and see what we can take out. Kind of wish I would have hit that before the attack, but okay. That's fine. I don't think we're going to move out there. I don't see any advantage of that. Here we're in the light forest. Okay, sure. Here we're in Konzen. We've got artillery here in town. What do we want to hit here? Let's go after this cavalry and see if we can take anything out. Now that is regimental arty. So we do take out 2 Greyhounds, a Scot, 10 veteran. I'll take that with regimental arty, right? Um, Excellent. So that artillery's back there. We've got infantry and Stugs here. This is a core Stug group. We've got engineers there. We've got the 982nd here. Where's the other part of the 982nd, you may ask? It's right there, and that's its artillery. That's perfect. 272nd, they're both here. The 980th, oh, I'm sorry, the 272nd is actually, that's going straight back. That's the Fusiliers. That's going straight back to the division. I've got the division here, so you can see the command range. All of these are in command. This is starting to get a little extended, but I'm not sure we're going to move these guys much. I could move one of these up. Maybe the engineers. I've also got this entire division that's kind of scooting around this way, but I think we're going to wait until next time for all of that. This looks very promising. I mean, we'll see what kind of reinforcements he brings there, but we got a potential encirclement coming here at Rotkin. If these guys can meet up, even on top of this hill before we get to Rotkin, we've got a maybe a full American division there that we could trap. That'd be exciting. Uh, okay, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I know I did. I love this game. I'll talk to you next time. Strategy Gaming Dojo. Have a good one.